Dr. Joseph Reed. Most of the work people do in organizations today requires the ability to build and maintain good relationships. It doesn't matter if you're a scientist developing a new drug or a customer service agent interacting with a client, relationships matter. Trust is the fuel of great relationships. Without trust, the relationship isn't going anywhere. And the ability to foster trust isn't some touchy-feely, nice-to-have soft skill. It's a business requirement. When there's high trust in a relationship, everything goes faster. Time is a key ingredient in organizational costs. When things go faster, costs go down, profits go up. If you manage a business, if you lead a team, building a high-trust work climate should be one of your top priorities. It will pay off on the bottom line. If you're an individual contributor, learning how to create trust in a relationship is going to increase your sphere of influence and make you more successful. Your ability to build trust, it's a key factor not only in your personal life, but in your business and professional success as well. You lose the trust, you lose the relationship. If you lose the relationship, you lose the business. Trust can take time to develop, and it can also evaporate in the blink of an eye. Your trustworthiness starts internally and develops from the inside out. Aspects of your character drive your behavior. People see your behavior, they make judgments about your motives and abilities based on what they see. They then choose to trust you or not. There are three main drivers of their perceptions and judgments about your trustworthiness. And there's a fourth factor that can enhance their overall impact. The first core ingredient is authenticity. People have to know you to trust you. And they can't know you through a facade. If you put up filters, if you put up walls, if you mask up before interacting with them, they can't see the real you, and that will limit their ability to trust you. Authenticity begins with self-knowledge. You have to know who you are. You have to know what your values are. You have to know what your purpose is. You have to know what you stand for. But self-awareness is only the start of being authentic. Your behaviors matter as well. Do you act in alignment with your values and purpose? Do they serve as an internal GPS guiding your actions? Or do you allow the external circumstances and situational ethics to drive your actions? To be seen as authentic, you have to know who you are at your core, and you have to live your life in alignment with that self-knowledge. That can sometimes mean making decisions that actually go against your apparent self-interest to maintain the alignment. Authenticity at its core is about, are you who you say you are, and do other people see that alignment? The second core ingredient is character. Now, authenticity is a prerequisite for trust, but it's not sufficient in its own right. What is your character? Do you subscribe to and live your life according to the principles that govern effective relationships and lead to trust? Are you honest? Are you responsible? Are you fair? Are you respectful to others? Are you loyal and humble and empathic and kind? Are you courageous? I know those qualities look as if they've been taken out of the Boy Scout handbook, but they really do matter. All of those principles have natural consequences for relationships. If you're honest, you're seen as having integrity. If you're responsible, you're seen as being dependable and predictable. If you're fair, people see you as not having hidden agendas. Being respectful means you come across as unselfish. Being loyal And you're going to be seen as more consistent and steadfast. If you're humble, you're going to be seen as open to new ideas and willing to admit your mistakes. If you're empathic, you're seen as caring and understanding. If you're kind, as benevolent. And if you're courageous, you're seen as willing to do the right thing even when it's hard. Have you ever known someone who lacked some of those key qualities? Maybe they weren't honest, maybe they weren't loyal. Did you trust them? Probably not. You're not likely to trust someone who you believe is out to do you harm or who you feel doesn't care about you. To build trust, other people have to believe that you have a positive intent. They have to believe that you have their interest in mind. If you live these principles, you're more likely to be seen as having that positive intent. Authenticity, character are both important, and there's a third variable: competence. My wife and I have been married for 35 years. I see her as being authentic. She's a principled person of character. But when it came time to repair the tendon in my elbow 2 weeks ago, I didn't trust her to perform the surgery. Why? Because she's an elementary school teacher and not an orthopedic surgeon. Competence is situational. Are you seen as having knowledge and skill and experience within the area that trust is required? Remember, trust is conferred upon us by others. So it's really their perceptions that matter in terms of trust. You can have all the knowledge and skill and experience in the world, but if it's not recognized by the other person, trust will suffer. Those three factors, authenticity, character, and competence, are the three main ingredients to building trust with other people. But there is a fourth area that has an impact: likability. Think of likability as a catalyst. It's an enhancer. It's not an absolute requirement, but it can multiply the impact of the main ingredients. Now, on its own, likability doesn't ensure trust, but when it's paired with the other three core ingredients, it can dramatically improve your credibility and the trust that other people feel in you. Authenticity, character, competence, along with likability, show up day to day in our behaviors. To build and maintain trust with the people who matter most to you, try to live these 9 simple behaviors. Be transparent. Make your intentions explicit. Let other people see the real you. Let your guard down. Share information freely and appropriately, personal as well as professional. Do what you say you will do. Be reliable. Don't promise something that you can't deliver. Develop clear expectations with people. Not meeting someone's expectations because it was unclear can be a huge withdrawal from the relationship bank account. Make the other person feel heard. Really listen to them. When you've made a mistake, and we all make mistakes, when you've somehow violated perhaps the trust, apologize sincerely and deeply. And forgive other people when they've made a mistake. Living those simple 9 behaviors will do wonders for your relationships. Trust me.